Hey guys, this is Random Stuff with Alex Hughes, and I decided to film another update. I believe this is day 7, a week of the Self Transformation Challenge. And what I wanted to update you guys with was I started off the day with a cold shower this morning, and my body is getting used to the temperature. Luckily, we're starting to get closer to summer, so the temperature outside isn't so cold, I would say, compared with like winter. December through March, the temperature can be like in the 40s and 50s here in San Diego County. But yeah, I had another smoothie. This time I believe there was mangoes, apples. To be honest, I haven't really been cleaning the blender, so it's kind of just like whatever's left over from last time you add on top of it, a brand new smoothie altogether. And very filling. It made my body temperature definitely drop a lot. And in the morning, it's kind of like you get uh, you notice the difference, especially when you go outside too. So you have a cold shower, cold smoothie, and then you go outside and it's a lot cooler. And so I had the vitamin regimen. Luckily, I decided to eat the vitamins alongside the smoothie that I had, and that made it easier to swallow. I also added some rice crackers in the brown rice, rice cakes, basically. Inside, add a little bit of carbohydrates in there. And so I went on a walk, and I went a little bit longer in terms of the route. So I, went up the street, and then I turned to right, and then I kind of, twisted around, and then I came back. At least it felt longer. Maybe it's a bit shorter than the other routes I took, but I built up some warmth, and I came back home, and I did my qigong and meditation, and then I decided to put away my clothes because they've been building up, and then I also hmm, I was deleting a lot of music um, on my playlists because I've been trying to get out the kind of negative energy, or the songs that are a little bit too overtly, explicit in what they talk about. And I noticed that, the R&B music especially and the hip hop music, that's where you see mostly, or that's where you see a lot of that, those type of lyrics. And so I've been kind of cleaning that up. And then I went over to Planet Fitness, and I worked on my arms. So I've been working on my arms here and here, and I found a video on YouTube to explain kind of like the routine, and it was a sit down routine. So I definitely did notice myself getting tired out. I was doing, I believe it was 5 pounds. Um, so maybe for somebody else that might be, kind of small, but you got to start off somewhere. I don't really remember really working out my arms too much growing up, so 5 pounds is a lot for me. Or it's pretty decent, like it's in between. It's not too much, and it's not too little. And so I'm glad I got that in at Planet Fitness. And then I took the bus back to get ready to go shoot some hoops. And I went to a different park today in Vista, Luz Duran Park, which is kind of in a neighborhood area. A lot of great shade there. They have a soccer, kind of like artificial turf soccer field. And then I ended up also, so I spent maybe an hour and a half there shooting some hoops. The court size was actually really nice. And it was in better condition than the South Buena Vista Park, which is a dog park. These hoops seemed to shake a lot though, so I was trying to shoot some hoops, and I noticed that they would tremble, and it would make it a little bit difficult to shoot hoops. Along with the fact that it was somewhat windy today. However, I was making some baskets, but most of the shots at least touched the basket. Not too many air balls, luckily. And that's the tricky part, is trying to get in the hoop, because sometimes you shoot it and then it bounces off the rim, or it bounces off the backboard, or it like slides off. There's a couple of shots that were like really cool, like when it kind of goes around the edge and it goes inside, or it's just about to go in. So I noticed some of those shots as I was going about. And then, so I took a couple breaks for meditation, and breathing meditation is what I've been mainly focusing on to develop a lot more mindfulness. And the park was like pretty peaceful. There was a group of, I believe, maybe some kids, um, but overall, I was able to clear my mind a lot, do mindfulness and dual consciousness, this ability to just observe your surroundings. And whenever a thought tries to come in, or, emotion or image, you just focus your attention back on the present moment. So the sounds, the movements around you, your body sensations, you just tune into the present moment, and you just kind of relax. And the cool thing is that you practice this more and more, and you can do this at will. So it's not necessarily something hard to do. You just tune into the present moment, and everything gets quieter in your brain, and there's not as much going on. So I think that's the coolest part, is the ability to slow things down at will, at your own will, and to choose where you want to focus your attention. So there's definitely a lot of thoughts every single day we have, but not all the thoughts that we have are very important. A lot of times it's just kind of like the news, right? The news loves to shout out headlines about what is important to your life. But the reality is most of those situations don't really matter, to be honest. So it's like we have to pick between the headlines about what is relevant to our lives, and then to pick and choose the thoughts that we want, ideas, because not every single idea is a good idea. We have to be discerning and discriminating against what thought is going to really move us forward towards our goal. And I think we know kind of like what thoughts are, relevant and what thoughts are irrelevant. It's just sometimes we just get caught up in the emotion, the flashbacks, and all sorts of other things. But I definitely noticed myself just actually being kind of drawn towards just kind of sitting there in that mindful state. I noticed when I started the journey, I was a little bit antsy. I had a lot of thoughts because, I was so focused on all these different tasks, what I needed to complete, whether that be, communicating via social media, working on my social media page, working on the house, working on some sort of task. There's so much stuff that I was putting on my shoulders, um, that I kind of lost, my sense of mindfulness. So this practice is very beneficial, and I definitely want to take that with me. While I was also doing basketball, I was listening to Gabriel, talk about his fruitarianism and his raw vegan diet. I never thought about going that far. Um, at the moment, but I was thinking more like vegetarianism. So giving up meat, I think I'll be able to do that because I've noticed a lot of great meat substitutes, and I haven't been eating as much meat as usual. So um, I think I can do vegetarianism. So I'm definitely gonna aim towards that, phasing meat out by the end of the summer. Other than that, I walked a bit, and I got home and did another cold shower, and then I drank some chamomile tea, doing the essential oils. You know, whenever I sit down, do something, I put on the essential oils just to get the smell in the air, a little bit of relaxation. And then I started another smoothie for tomorrow, which is going to be, I believe there's strawberries, blueberries, yeah, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, oats, English breakfast, um, milk, half and half, yogurt. So it's gonna be pretty thick, but I think it's gonna be very filling for the morning. Um, and then I'm making a cornbread that has the leftover smoothies from before, I can't even remember. I have a hard time remembering what exactly I put in those smoothies. Each one is a little bit different. And then along with that, I decided to add eggs, baking soda, baking powder, cornmeal, oil, and raspberries. So should be pretty good actually. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. But I think today I'm definitely grateful for the fact that I decided to go to the gym, start that routine. Um, the hoops shooting was great. I think the funny thing is I felt like I was making more baskets when I was listening to the video. I put my headphones on, kind of eliminate the distractions around me, and I just kind of focused on shooting hoops and listening to that. But other than that, let's see. I'm also glad to find that mindfulness and to cultivate that because that's something that I've always kind of been searching for is this ability to um, kind of look through my thoughts and to figure out what's most important and what is going to be relevant to my life. I've noticed for a lot of my life that I tend to kind of put emphasis on thoughts that don't really matter, and I spend all this energy growing them into something, but I don't really need it. So for me, I'm glad that, I discovered this tool to be able to. Whew, sorry, I was about to yawn there, but I'm glad I found this tool to be able to figure out what thoughts I want and what thoughts I don't want, and to be conscious of that and to pick and choose. And it's a great tool to have that control. So I think a week in, I definitely am glad I decided to do this, mainly because I was feeling a strong sense of anxiety that I hadn't felt for a while, actually. I was on the bus going to Del Mar to check out the mall because, things were opening up back up again, and that mall opened, and I was intending to go there to check it out. And then when I was in the morning, I was doing something, and I noticed myself get a little bit antsy, like, that feeling of kind of pressure and I kind of shook it off. And then I went on the bus, and then I was trying to do meditation on the bus, um, because oh no, never mind. I think it started earlier than that though, but I just started to notice a sense of growing kind of anxiety, and I try to kind of focus more, but also still do the social media work that I was doing, to create this page that I believe is going to blow up. But what I noticed was I was trying to do meditation and I couldn't really focus that much. I was so surprised. But then, what I realized was that over the last month or so, I've been so focused on building this Instagram page that I've been focusing less on meditation. And so my meditation skills on the bus were kind of low, and I just noticed overall a sense of kind of heaviness throughout the day, and I was so surprised that when I got home I realized I gotta work on this, and so that's when I finally decided to start this self transformation challenge and work on as many personal development habits as possible. The cold showers, supplements, essential oils, going to the gym, uh, doing basketball, going out in nature, going out every day, just trying to fit it in my schedule, over the next 30 days. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Of course, I'll probably do the basketball, the gym, maybe the beach, who knows. But I'll check in day 8, and I hope you guys are doing great. And this is Random Stuff with Alex Hughes signing off. Have a good day.